Goodrem House was built in 1922, and if you look behind you, you can see the difference in the age of the brick between the Great Hall and Goodrem House. Can you see how the brick has aged so much? Another issue that they had is back during the 30s, 40s, and 50s, all the brick at these schools was covered in ivy to simulate that of the Ivy League schools down in the United States and in England. And the ivy, essentially, you can see how much it really hurt the brickwork and took away its freshness, if you wish, because the Great Hall that was built in the 30s, this was built in 1922, and yet it looks that much more ancient compared to the Great Hall. The Goodrem family is synonymous with power and money, especially in Ontario and in Canada in particular. Anybody from Toronto here? Any Torontoites? You know the distillery district in Toronto? Yes? That is all owned by the Goodrem family. And so back in the 20s, during the Prohibition days that were taking place in the United States, the Goodrem family was synonymous with distillery and making of alcohol, such as whiskey and so on and so forth, and shipping it to the United States during the Prohibition days. And the Goodrem family was one of the beneficiaries of the prohibitions. And so as a result, Mr. Goodrem, who eventually became chairman of the board of Ridley College, they made enough money, and basically you can see Goodrem House was built by booze. Okay. I don't know, none of you have ever been in there, but it was the oldest boys' house on campus. Dean started and eventually stopped after a while, and it became a girls' house. And before that, it was the art studio and everything else after they built Goodrem House. So Goodrem House was the longest standing boys' house. And then in 1984, thereabouts, they switched it over and it became a female residence.